Mataji for that recitation of Bhagavad Gita and also the beautiful chanting. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीला गुरु महाराज की जय। All glories to all the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. This is Chinmayi Vrajpriya Devi Dasi welcoming each one of you to our mid-morning session of Bhakti Sangha. Please go ahead, Matajis, and introduce yourself so that we can greet each one of you.
Hare Krishna, Chinmay Vrajapriya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for all your services and thank you so much for being here today. Welcome, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Balavrinda.
Hari Bol Balavrinda. Thank you so much, Kana, for joining every day and you're a young kid and here you are listening to the glories of the Supreme Lord. So you're a totally blessed child. Welcome, Kana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Neetu Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for your wonderful services and thank you for joining every day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Chinmay Mataji. Dandavat pranams all devotees here. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Sumi from Chennai, India.
Hare Krishna, Sumi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for joining from India. It's quite late for you there, but still here you are. Thank you for that and welcome, Mataji, to today's session. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. This is Sita Priti Devidasi from Pune.
Hare Krishna, Sita Priti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for all the services you do. Thank you for your wonderful classes and welcome, Mataji, to today's class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Revati Priti from Atlanta, Mataji.
Hari Bol, Revati Priti Devi Dasi, Mataji. Welcome, Mataji. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for all your services, Mataji, and welcome, Mataji, to today's call. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Oh,
This
it's
is
false.
Uma from
It's
Oracle.
false.
Hare Krishna, Uma.
Manda.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for the various services you do. And thank you for your beautiful recitation of Bhagavad Gita today. And welcome, Mataji, to today's call. Hare Krishna. Mataji, it's 11 o'clock. Shall we? Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome once again to our Bhakti Sangha mid-morning session. And we are continuing our Caitanya Bhagavat series. And let me read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today before I hand over the call to our very dear esteemed speaker. If one is a poor man, he can go to some friend's house and accept food and then come back. But one should never accept residence in others' house. This was instructed by His Divine Grace in a letter to Hayagriva on July 14, 1968. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Priti Vilasini mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. We are so fortunate, Mataji, hearing back to back from you. You stopped on Friday and you're taking it back today. So fortunate to hear from you, Mataji. We love your classes. All of us here love your classes. So very grateful to you. Mataji will be talking on Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Kanda, from 97th verse to 109 verses of chapter 1. Please take over, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, it's rather unfortunate. We didn't find a speaker, so I'm speaking. That's all. The speakers.
Fortune, Mataji.
The ones who were supposed to speak, there were some cancellations, and unfortunately, one after the other, they were not able to speak. So, as a filler, I'm coming, and definitely it's only some patch up here. So, thank you so much. Okay, we'll get started. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं कृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरं नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्या प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata, and we are in the Antya Kanda, chapter 1. Before we get started, we will offer prayers to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. आजानुलम्बितभुजौ कनकावदातौ सङ्कीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायदाक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ जयति जयति देव कृष्ण चैतन्य चन्द्रो जयति जयति कीर्तिस् तस्य नित्या पवित्रा जयति जयति भृत्यास्तस्य विश्वेश्वमूर्तेर् जयति जयति नृत्यं तस्य सर्वप्रियाणाम्. So we have a quiz for those who were there in the previous class. Let's see how much we fare in this quiz. Here we go. Okay. Now, this is a revision to come to the point of today's class. The Lord said, I will go to the forest where Dash is situated and stay there in solitude. Which place did the Lord go to? This was right after his sannyas. So the Lord took sannyas and he said, I'm going to go towards the forest. He embraced Chandrasekharacharya and asked him to go home. And Chandrasekharacharya went to Navadvip to pacify all the devotees there. Now, Mahaprabhu, along with his guru and a few other associates, they started walking in the front. So at that time, Mahaprabhu said, I will go to the forest where which temple is situated and stay there in solitude. Anyone remembers which temple this was?
Vakreshwar Mahadev.
Haribo! Good job. Very nice. Next. At the end of the day, the Lord came out to one fortunate village, Ekadhanya Gram. Okay, remember this verse? He came to one fortunate village and stayed there in the house of a pious Brahmin. That's what the Lord did. Before he even went to the Vakreshwar area, he kept walking towards that place. It was in the western direction. He kept walking. And finally, at the end of the day, he came to a fortunate village and he stayed in the house of a Brahmin. Now, what happened after that? The Lord suddenly escaped in the night. He ran away. So the devotees searched throughout the entire village and eventually they came to which place where they found Mahaprabhu crying in ecstasy. The last muhurta of the night, he ran away. And then he was sitting in a place and he was crying for Krishna in ecstasy. So much so, up till 2 miles, his cries was heard. Where was he sitting?
Open field or something?
Yeah, like forest or something like.
Open field, yeah, in a huge patch of land in an open field, he was sitting and he was crying. Very nice. As the Lord was dancing and proceeding towards Bakreshwar in the west, that was his original plan, suddenly he headed back towards which direction in his own happiness? He was going west. But then suddenly he turned around and which direction did he start going?
North.
There are only 4 directions, right? So, okay, one Mataji says north. Then
Towards Jagannath Puri, Mataji, but I don't know.
you are correct. You are correct. Yes. It was towards Jagannath Puri, but that is the next question, question number 5. Okay. But which direction? If he's going west, if Jagannath Puri is there, which direction should he go? Should go towards?
South.
No. So north is gone, south is gone. Now we are only left with one.
East.
East.
Okay, east in his own happiness. After regaining his external consciousness, the Lord enthusiastically said, I will go to which place?
Jagannath Puri.
Jagannath Puri. Why? Because he claims that the Lord told him, come to Jagannath Puri. Krishna told him, come to Jagannath Puri. So after regaining his external consciousness, he enthusiastically said, I was told by Krishna that I should go to Jagannath Puri, so I'm going to Jagannath Puri. And he said, this is Vrindavan Das Thakur. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is telling my understanding, Vrindavan Das Thakur's understanding of the Lord going towards Vakreshwar and then taking a detour towards Jagannath Puri is because the Lord wanted to make the entire land of which Desh glorious on the pretext of going to Vakreshwar. Which land is that?
Radhadesh.
Radhadev! Yay! We all passed our revision. Very nice. Okay, now we'll go to today's class. And today's class, I'm just going to, it was a last minute thing, so I just took the.
Mataji, as long as you have the first benchers in the class, they will pass the test.
I know we have one first benchers in the class, so we all pass. Okay, fantastic. So here is our verses from 96. So what happened after that? Ganga Mukha Hoya Chala Gaurachandra Niravadi Dehe Nija Premera Ananda. As Gaurachandra headed towards the Ganges, his body was constantly filled with his own ecstatic love. So he was filled with Dehe Nija Premera Ananda. Nija means his own. Okay. So Nija, his own prema. So he was filled with his own ecstatic love as he was walking in the west following the path of the Ganges. Bhakti Shunya Sarvadesha na jane kirtana karo mukhe nahi Krishna nama ucharana. So all those places, wherever he went, it was Bhakti Shunya. Bhakti Shunya Sarvadesh. All the places he walked by, there was no devotion. Na jane kirtana karo mukhe. Nobody was doing kirtan. Nahi Krishna nama ucharan. Nobody was chanting the holy names of the Lord. Nobody even uttered Krishna's name. This was the condition of all those places. So, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he says, being conditioned by matter, people were averse to Krishna and they forget his service. Therefore, rather than engaging in glorifying Krishna, they pass their days discussing worldly topics like all of us, especially me. Since they reject Hari Kirtan, they become engrossed in sense gratification and thus unable to utter the name of Krishna. This is the condition of all souls who are not taking up to the process of hearing and chanting. The absence of topics related to Krishna in a desert devoid of devotional service results in the absence of the flood of ecstatic love. Such a poetic sentence. The absence of topics related to Krishna in a desert devoid of devotional service results in the absence of flood of ecstatic love. So where there is a desert, you don't expect floods, right? You don't expect water to flood. So this was a desert. This heart is a desert devoid of devotional service, devoid of the topics of Krishna. Then where is the question of the flood of ecstatic love? Which means unless there is topics of Krishna discussed, you cannot expect the flood of ecstatic love. You cannot expect to develop Krishna Prem. So Krishna Prem begins with hearing and chanting. So unless we hear, chant, and discuss topics of Krishna, there is the question of developing love of Godhead. There is no question. That is our goal, right? That is our goal. But what is the process? Sometimes we are always thinking about the goal. Ultimately, that is the goal. That is the goal. That is the goal. But we forget that we should focus on the process. Unless we follow the process, the goal cannot be achieved. So what happened? Prabhu bale hena deshe aila na kena Krishna hena nama karo nai shuini vadane. The Lord said, why did I come to a place where no one utters the name of Krishna? See, this is the greatest distress for the Lord. He's coming to a place where no one is speaking the names of Krishna and he's very, very sad. Kena hena deshe mui Karilum payana narakiyo deha mui chadine prana. Why did I come to such a place? I will not keep up this body any longer. I will give up this life. Such a pure devotee. He's thinking that if there is a place where there is no topics of Krishna discussed or where I cannot hear the names of Krishna, what is the use of living in that place? I'd rather give up my life. That is how he's thinking. In fact, it is mentioned one of the greatest distresses a person can face is a lack of association. Separation from a devotee, I think this was with Ramananda Rai, separation from a devotee is the greatest distress that one can feel. Why so? Because in the association of devotees, we are discussing Krishna Katha. So if there is no Krishna Katha that is being discussed, that is the greatest torture that one can experience. So why did I come to such a place? I will not keep up my body any longer. I will give up this life. This is what Mahaprabhu was telling. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, in the commentary, he says, when Sri Gaurasundar went to a place where there was no discussion of topics of Krishna, a place that by visiting one needs to undergo atonement. It is a place that one needs to undergo atonement. So he resolved to give up his life. So it's a sinful place if there are no topics of Krishna being discussed. It's better to die. That is what Gauranga Mahaprabhu was thinking. Hinai samaye dhenu rakesi shugana tara madhye sukriti achaya ekajana haridhvani karite lagila achambita suniya haila prabhu yati harshita. At that time, one pious child, Ekasishu, okay, who was he? He was a Dhenu Rakhe. Dhenu is cows. Rakhe is one who takes care. Henai Samai, at that time, Dhenu Rakhe Sishu Ghana. A person, a small child who's taking care of cows. At that time, one pious child among the group of cowherd boys suddenly began to chant the name of Hari. Hari Dvani Korite. He started chanting the name of Hari. When the Lord heard that, he became very, very pleased. So there were some cowherd boys who were going, and like Krishna, they were also tending to cows. And at that time, suddenly one boy started doing Haridhvani. He started chanting the names of Krishna. Dhenu Rakhe means protector of cows or maintainer of cows or a cowherd. Dhenu is cow or ghau, which is cow. Okay. So to save Mahaprabhu, one boy, he did chant the holy names of Krishna. Hari bola vakya prabhu shuni shishu muke vichara karite lagile namaha sukhe. When the Lord heard the sound of Hari Bol from the mouth of a child, he began to happily contemplate. So he became extremely happy. He was thinking, I should not even live in this place. But now the Lord was extremely happy. Tina dui chariyata dekila nagrama kaharao mukhete nashunilu harinama. When all the villages that I have passed, in all the villages that I have passed through the last 2 or 4 days, I have not heard anyone vibrate the name of Hari. This was the reason why the Lord decided that I will give up my life. Nobody is chanting the names of Hari. Now, of course, there are other readings, Dina Dui Chari or Dina Tina Chari. That is basically, he was telling 2 or 3 days, 2 or 4 days, nobody was chanting the name of Hari. Or in the past 3 days, nobody is chanting the name of Hari. But now, finally, somebody has chanted the name of Hari. आचंबिते शिशु मुके शुनि हरि ध्वनि केहेते हार सबे कह देखी शुनि. Now I'm suddenly hearing a child chant the name of Hari. What is the reason for this? What do you think is the reason? Any guesses? Why suddenly this entire tract of land, nobody was chanting Hari, and then he went to a place and suddenly someone started chanting Hari? Any guesses? What could be the reason?
Lord's arrangement, Krishna's arrangement.
Yes, Krishna's arrangement, and Mahaprabhu is the who would chant Hari. Yes, Krishna's arrangement to save Mahaprabhu. Huh? Yeah. Why not? Anything else? Okay, this is a far-fetched guess, but then
Krishna's by the influence of Mahaprabhu himself, the very presence of Mahaprabhu can make someone who is, receptive and pure chant the name of Hari.
yes, by the Lord's arrangement, by the presence of Mahaprabhu, anyone can become receptive and chant the names of Hari. Now, okay, we are going to see what really happened there. What really happened while that boy chanted the name of Hari. Let's see. Prabhu bale Ganga kata dura eta hoite sabe bali ne ka prahere na pate. The Lord asked, the Lord is very intelligent. He asked, how far is the Ganges from here? And the children replied, it's about 2 to 3 hours from here. So this is the power of Ganga. Ganga's water. The water of Ganga is so purifying. Prabhu bole ye mahima kevala gangara ata eva eta hari nama era prachara. The Lord said, this is the glory of the Ganges. By her influence, one hears the holy names chanted here. Another meaning of reading of prachar, propagation, as sanchar, appearance. The Lord said, this is the glory of the Ganges. By her influence, one hears the holy names. That is the influence of the Ganges. So Ganga is very, very purifying. To come in, not just in contact with Ganga, to come somewhere in the area of the Ganges itself is a big, big fortune. She can make anybody a devotee. Gangara Vatasa siya lage eta ata eva shonila na hari garna gate. Breezes coming from the Ganges are blowing here. Therefore, I heard the glorification of Hari's transcendental qualities. So he is giving credit to Ganga. But of course, like you all said, when Mahaprabhu is there, he can inspire anybody to chant. Or by some transcendental arrangement to save Mahaprabhu's life, the names of Hari were vibrated. Of course, yes. But here, the Lord is giving credit to his devotee, Ganga Devi. So the breezes of Ganga is coming here. Not just the water, not just the touch of water or the flow of water, just the breeze. The breeze from the Ganges is blowing here. Therefore, I heard glorification of Hari's transcendental qualities. What a great devotee Ganga Devi is. Gaudiya Bhashya by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Another reading for Ashiya Lage is Kiba Lagiache. The waters of the Ganges are directly the nectar emanating from Sri Hari's lotus feet. What kind of devotee is she? She emanated from Lord Hari's lotus feet. Any person who's touched by the air flowing over those waters of the Ganges is qualified to perform Hari Kirtan. So you can imagine anybody who's living in the region of the Ganges becomes qualified to perform Hari Kirtan. Unless one is fixed in Krishna consciousness, his thirst for material enjoyment is not destroyed and he does not develop taste for purification of Krishna. So by the presence of Ganges itself, just by breathing the breeze that is flowing over Ganges, one can get Krishna consciousness and one can get inspired to chant the names of Hari. Gangara Mahima Vyakhya Karite Thakura Ganga Prati Anuraga Badila Prachur. As the Lord glorified the Ganges, his attachment increased multifold. So he became very attached to the Ganges as he was glorifying her. Okay. So, Prabhu bole, Aji ami sarvatha gangaya majana kariba, eta boli chai yaya. So he said, okay, today I will certainly bathe in the Ganges. And he started off saying this. So we'll have to stop here because that was the assigned verses. So we'll have to stop here. And I'm just going to repeat a lecture from my Guru Maharaj because I thought that's the easiest way to do the class. And this class will be on the glories of Ganga. Glories of Ganga Devi. We'll just see some interesting facts about Ganga Devi. We'll see how Ganga is glorified in various scriptures. Pavanaha pavatam Rama Shastra Bhritam Maham Jhasanam Makaraschasmi Shrotasam Asmi Janavi. Who said this? Continuing our quiz.
This is appearances of Lord Krishna in 10th chapter BG.
Yes, spoken by Lord Sri Krishna himself. So he says, of the purifiers, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapons, I am Rama. Rama Shastra Britham Maham. Of the fishes, I am the shark. Jasanam Makaraschasmi. Shrotasam Asmi Jhanavi. Among the rivers, who am I? I am Jhanavi. Who's Jhanavi? Anjana Gopika Mataji's daughter.
Ganga Maiya.
Ganga Maiya, yes, Ganga Maiya.
Mataji, is that Sita Mataji's name also is Jahnavi? No?
Sita Thakurani? No, Sita Devi. No.
It's Janaki, not
Janaki.
Yeah, Janaki.
Okay.
Yeah, Jhanavi. Why is she called Jhanavi? Any guesses?
Jhanu Rishi, from Jhanu
She came
Rishi.
from the years of the
Jannu
sage.
Maharishi, yes. She came from the years of Jannu Maharishi. Actually, Jannu Maharishi drank her and then he released her through the years. There's a pastime like that because she was like, oh, don't drink me up like that. And then he releases through the years. So she becomes Jhanavi, like the daughter of Jannu Maharishi. So she's called as Jhanavi. Okay. So there is this description in Srimad Bhagavatam also about how the Ganges appeared in this world. So you all know the story of Vamandev. Vamandev, when he was measuring the three worlds, when he measured the upper planetary systems, his leg went up and he pierced through the universal coverings. And when he pierced through the universal coverings, the transcendental water of the causal ocean, it leaked through. Okay, so it leaked through, and as the leg was coming up, Brahma was also washing the lotus feet of the Lord with his kamandalu. So the water that is coming from the causal ocean mixed with the water that was washing his lotus feet by Brahma's kamandalu, it all mixed together and it came down as the Ganges. Okay, and this Ganges is also the Supreme Lord himself present in a water form. It is non-different from the Supreme form. So these three explanations are given by Vishma Chakravarti Thakur. So what is the Ganges? It is actually a combination of everything. It is the water. In different places, you will find different definitions of Ganges within the Bhagavatam itself. In some places, it is mentioned that she's a liquefied form of Narayan. That is, she's a liquefied form of the Supreme Lord. In some places, you will see that the Ganges water is nothing but the water that leaked through the universe when the universal covenants were pierced. In some other places, it is mentioned that the Ganges is the water that was washed by the Kamandalu of Brahma when Vamanadev's foot went upward. Okay, but Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says all three definitions are correct. Ganges is a combination of all three. So that is the glory of Ganga Devi. And in Caitanya, I think this is Caitanya Bhagavat. You must have heard this very recently when we were doing Madhya Khanda. There is this famous verse, Bhagavata Tulasi Gangaya Bhakta Jani Chaturdiya Vigraha Krishna Ye Charisane. That is, Krishna appears in this world in four forms. Krishna himself appears as Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna himself appears as Tulasi. Krishna himself appears as Ganga. And Krishna himself appears as Bhaktajana, as his very, very dear devotees. So Krishna appears in this world in four forms. We went through this verse. And why we went through this verse is because we were also discussing about a great devotee who worshipped Ganga Devi. Who is that great devotee in Chaitanya Leela who worshipped Ganga Devi as non-different from Krishna?
Advaitacharya.
And one more.
Srivas Thakur.
No.
This
Kolavecha Sridhar.
Yes, Kolavecha Sridhar and Advaita Acharya. How did Advaita Acharya worship? By he used Ganga Devi, water, Tulasi, and he worshipped his Shalagram Shila, asking the Lord to descend. Yeah. So here, so in the commentary, our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in the Gaudiya Bhashya commentary of this verse in Chaitanya Bhagavat, he says, Sri Krishna manifests his own form in four representations in this world. Although if one abruptly sees these four representations, one does not recognize them as Supreme Personality of Godhead. These four representations related to the Supreme Lord are worshipped as manifestations of the Lord. That means he means to say, even by chance, if you see them, you should understand that they are non-different from the Lord. They have the potency like the Lord. The Vaishnavas, Tulasi, Ganga, and Srimad Bhagavatam are the four manifestations of Krishna. They are extremely potent. Okay? So if you just come across Tulasi Devi, you can become a devotee. If you come across Ganga Devi, you can become a devotee. If you come across Srimad Bhagavatam, you become a devotee. If you come across devotees of Krishna also, you become a devotee. So Krishna has put his potency in these four, and they are non-different from Krishna in that sense. So just coming in contact, like you see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, why is this boy chanting Hari now? Must be Ganga's close by. And he says, Ganga is just 2 hours from here. See, he received the breeze of Ganga and he's chanting the holy names. That is the power of Ganga Devi. And again, in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, this is chapter 15, verse number 135. There is this very nice verse that says, Dharu Brahma Rupe Sakshat Sri Purushottam. So, Sri Purushottam or Jagannath is Dharu Brahma Rupa. Right? He's coming, he's the Lord himself coming in the form of Daru Brahman, the form of wood, pretty much. Bhagirathi Hana Saksha Jala Brahmasa. Who's Bhagirathi?
Ganga.
Why is she Bhagirathi?
Bhagirath Rishi brought her down on the earth planet.
Bhagirath Maharaj
who did penance to get Ganga Devi.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, Bhagirath Maharaj, he was the one who brought Ganga Devi down to earth. So she's called as Bhagirathi. She's also like the daughter of Bhagirath Maharaj. Bhagirathi, Jhanavi, these are all names of Ganga Devi. So Bhagirathi, Hana Sakshat Jala Brahma. We just said that the water of the Ganges is not different from the Supreme Lord, liquefied form of Narayan. In Bhagavatam also it's mentioned. Similarly, in Chaitanya Charitamrita it says she is Jala Brahma. That means she is the Supreme Lord himself in the form of liquid water. And remember in Bhagavad Gita, the first verse we chanted, among the rivers, I am Jhanavi, says the Supreme Lord Krishna. So we say like that in so many places. Ganga, her glories are defined in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Now Ganga, this is all from my Guru Maharaj's lecture, okay? So I'm just going to repeat as is without much changes. So Ganga, she has three forms according to Sripad Vallabhacharya. He has done some research and he says Ganga Devi has three forms. And what are the three forms? He says, there is this form of Ganga water on the earthly plane. And as water, she nourishes the crops, she gives water for drinking, water for bathing, and so on. The people on the banks of the river Ganga, the cities situated along Ganga's side, they are all receiving water from her liquid form. That is one form. Okay. So in the form of water, she is gifting the human society. She's giving lots of gifts. This is one form of Ganga. But Ganga is also considered the place of pilgrimage for those who are having faith in Ganga. That way they can access their blessings from Ganga. So in liquid form, she is present as water. She is fulfilling the human needs like drinking, bathing, etc. She has another form, which is she herself is Punya Tirtha. She herself is a place of pilgrimage. So when people go to a Punya Tirtha, they can get blessings, right? So Guru Maharaj says sometimes people ask Ganga Devi, I want a good husband or I want a good wife. Or if they already have a husband or wife, they ask Ganga, make them to be better husband and wife. So like that, they go and they ask Ganga Devi to bless them because she is a holy person personified. Okay. So this is the second form of Ganga. She is a holy place of pilgrimage. Now there is a third aspect of Ganga Devi, that she is herself a very divine goddess. That is, she is an expansion of the Hladini Shakti of the Supreme Lord. Okay, she's an expansion of the Supreme Lord and she's a personality. So they go and they worship her in person so that not that she can provide them with water for drinking or not that she can provide them with blessings to get their material desires satisfied. The third aspect is when you worship Ganga Devi, who's an expansion of the energy of the Lord, one can actually get bhakti from her. Just like how you worship Tulasi Devi to get bhakti, right? Like that, when you worship Ganga Devi, you get bhakti. And this was the mood in which devotees from the Caitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita, like Kolavecha Sridhar and others, used to worship Ganga Devi for the sake of bhakti, not for some material prosperity or something like that. Okay. That was the faith of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also in Mother Ganga. It is explained in Chaitanya Bhagavat that Ganga Devi, she is the goddess and there is a goddess by the name Ganga Devi and she presides over the Ganges and she is not different from her water and she herself is not different from this place of pilgrimage when you go to such a place where your sins will be removed. So she is present in three different aspects and these explanations are given by Vallabhacharya. Okay. And also Chaitanya Bhagavat ascribes to this queen. Now, how is Ganga Devi very dear to the Vaishnavas? In what sense is she dear to the Vaishnavas, especially the devotees of Gauranga Mahaprabhu? So let's see a little bit about that. So once upon a time, Ganga Devi, she was thinking, oh, Yamuna Devi is so fortunate. She's doing so much service. What service is she doing? The Gopas and the Gopis, they are bathing in the Yamuna. Krishna and Balaram are playing in the Yamuna. They are tending their calves and cows. They are taking their calves and cows in the Yamuna and they are sporting in Yamuna. So Yamuna is a wonderful devotee. She's making great arrangements. Yashoda Ma is also bathing Krishna in Yamuna. Nanda Maharaj is taking bath in Yamuna. All her friends of Krishna are having intimate loving leelas, including the gopis of Vrindavan. Krishna is playing the flute in Yamuna and he's stopping her waters. From time to time, the waters of Yamuna become still. Sometimes Yamuna Devi, she brings beautiful lotus flowers and she presents to Krishna. So like that, Ganga Devi was thinking, Yamuna is so wonderful. She does so many services for the Lord. She's offering very nice breezes for the pleasure of Krishna and Balaram. She's facilitating the Rasa Leela of Radha and Krishna. So Yamuna is so fortunate. Ganga, like this, she was thinking. And she was thinking how nice this devotee is serving Krishna. Ganga was not at all envious. Sometimes when we see the services of others, we become envious. Who does he think he is? Only he can do that service. I can do that service better, right? That is the attitude we tend to have. But then Ganga was not thinking like that. She was not envious. She was not jealous. Actually, she was very, very happy to see the good fortune of Yamuna. But taking the inspiration from Yamuna, she was also thinking, when will I serve? When will I serve like Yamuna Devi? And she began to do some tapasya. Okay. So now Ganga, who comes, her birth itself is so glorious. She's emanating from the lotus feet of the Lord. She's liquefied form of the Lord. She is Punya Tirtha personified, but she is appreciating the glory of another river of her kind. And she's thinking, how wonderful is Yamuna. I want to follow in the footsteps of Yamuna. So let me also do some tapasya and let me learn to follow in the footsteps of Yamuna Devi. So she did some tapasya, and it is mentioned Krishna gave some blessing. How? In the age of Kali, Radha and Krishna appear as Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Right? Radha Bhavadyuti Suvalita Naumi Krishna Swarupa. So, in the age of Kali, the same Radha Krishna who are performing pastimes on the bank of Yamuna, they take birth as Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And instead of Brajalila, instead of Vrindavan, he takes birth in Navadvip Dham. So now Ganga Devi gets the opportunity to assist that Supreme Lord along with Radharani in their loving pastimes in Navadvip Dham. So because of that hankering that she had, I also want to serve like Yamuna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself took birth in the land of Navadvip where the Ganga flows, and on the banks of the river Ganges, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and performed pastimes just to satisfy Ganga Devi. So she's celebrated as a great devotee. On the banks of the river Ganga, once in a solitary place, Advaita Acharya, he made a cave-like home for Haridas Thakur, and he spoke about the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and they had some nice discussions. And then Advaita Acharya, he became very, very determined for the sake of the fallen souls in the age of Kali. So, to make Krishna descend, he began to offer Ganges water and tulasi leaves to worship the Lord. He had a Shaligram Shila, and on the banks of the river Ganges, he took some Ganga water and tulasi, and he started worshipping the Shaligram Shila. That way, the Supreme Lord could descend. And Haridas Thakur, whom he had just met, and he discussed some Krishna Katha, he was also very inspired. So Haridas Thakur was also sitting in his cave and on the bank of the river Ganges, and he was also chanting very, very sincerely with an intention for the Supreme Lord to descend, for Krishna himself to descend. So then, because of the call of these two sincere devotees, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he decided to appear, and he decided to appear when there was an eclipse and everybody was in Ganga. All the devotees were in Ganga for the whole duration of the eclipse, chanting the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we see Ganga is also a form of the Lord. Harinam is also a form of the Lord. Devotees are also a form of the Lord. Tulasi is also a form of the Lord. Everybody came together and they were praying in the same place together in the river Ganges so that the Supreme Lord can descend. And then our Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he descended as little Nimai. Our little Nimai, in his childhood days, his mother, Shachi Devi, she would make very nice arrangements for Nimai to bathe in the Ganga. So from time to time, every day, of course, 3 times a day. In those days, they would take bath 3 times. Even now you're supposed to, but I don't know if everyone does so, but at least twice, right? In those days, 3 times a day, they would go to Ganga and they would take bath. So Shashi Devi would take little Nimai every single day to Ganga. So what great fortune Ganga Devi received after Mahaprabhu took birth there. Every day she had the opportunity. Yamuna Devi had the opportunity of Krishna coming every day. Now Ganga Devi had the opportunity of little Nimai coming there and taking bath in the Ganga. When Nimai grew up and he was in a student life, he and his friends, they used to play in Ganga. So this little kid's book also, you see these pictures of Nimai playing with his friends in the Ganges. What was their favorite sport? They would splash the water of the Gangas on each other, and then they would drink the water, not just drink, put it in their mouth and spit it out on each other. So like this, they would stay in the Ganga almost entire day along with his friends. Nimai would stay the entire day playing and sporting in Ganga, just like how Krishna would sport with the Gopas in the river Yamuna. And every day, Nimai Pandit, he would go and he would bow down in front of Ganga, he would worship her, he would honor her 3 times a day. So that way, he showed the world what true devotion it is that you show towards Ganga Devi. And later, when Keshava Kashmiri had come, you all know the story. Nimai told her that, oh, Keshava Kashmiri, you're such a great Pandit. So this was in his youth pastimes. He told Keshava Kashmiri, you're such a great poet. Goddess Saraswati herself, she sits on your tongue every time you speak. So why don't you compose some verses in glorification of Ganga? And Keshava Kashmiri, very quickly, like the raging wind, instantaneously, he composed 100 verses glorifying Ganga Devi. And it was there that on the banks of this same Ganga, that Nimai, he liberated the soul Keshava Kashmiri. How did he liberate Keshava Kashmiri? By taking out his ego, taking away his ego. He could find mistakes in the way Keshava Kashmiri had composed those verses. And he glorified Ganga 1,000,000 times more. Okay. So like this, Mahaprabhu, he inaugurated even the Sankirtan movement on the banks of the river Ganga. You see, even during the civil disobedience movement that they did, Mahaprabhu and his associates, to chastise Chandkazi, they walked along the Ganges, all the places around the Ganges. And we also saw a map in one of the classes of the route that they took along the path of the river Ganges so that they could go to the house of Chandkazi. So Ganga Devi has seen the birth of the Sankirtan movement. She is the witness. To this day, she is the witness of the birth of the Sankirtan movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What else happened? So this was during his youth days. And then later, Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas. Where did he take sannyas? He took sannyas in Katwa. Where is Katwa? Katwa is also on the bank of the river Ganges. So Ganga Devi, she has seen Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birth. Okay, the call for his birth by Advaitacharya and Haridas Thakur. Ganga Devi has seen the little childhood pastimes of Nimai. Why? Because Nimai would go and bathe in the Ganges. And he would have fun in the Ganges. He would drink her water and spit it out on his friends, and he would enjoy in the Ganges. Then our Nimai Pandit, the great youth, he did so many pastimes in the bank of the river Ganges. He was teasing girls. Some girls would take some articles to worship Ganga Devi, and he would say, with those articles, you worship me, like that. So he would tease the girls. What else would he do? When he was in youth, he chastised Keshava Kashmiri. He transformed so many people into devotees. He performed the Sankirtan movement. The birth of the Sankirtan movement, Ganga Devi has seen. Not just that, even the sannyas pastime in Katwa, that is on the banks of the river Ganges, Ganga Devi witnessed. Actually, according to Vrindavan Das Thakur, Mother Ganga was so eager to continue assisting the Lord that sometimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he would go to bathe at least 3 times a day, he would just stay in the Ganga for a very, very, very long time. And Ganga Devi would hold him back and keep assisting him so that she could do her seva. And but however, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finished sannyas and he went to Puri, he went to settle down in Jagannath Puri. At that time, Ganga was feeling great separation from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. She was thinking, I was serving him every day. I was doing so many things for the pleasure of the Lord and his devotees. Sometimes when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would be very upset, what would he do? With some devotee, if he gets upset, if his Sankirtan moment is disturbed, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would run and drown in the Ganges. He'll be like, I don't want to see anybody's face. And he would go and run and jump into the Ganges. Then the devotees had to go and pull him back. So like this, Ganga Devi had such sweet pastimes with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left her and he went to Puri. So you know what Ganga did? She had a plan. She started flowing very, very fast. From Navadvip, she went and she merged into the sea. A of course, we know all rivers, they merge into the ocean, right? So Ganga Devi, she was like, I cannot be separated from my Lord. So she started running swiftly and she went and she merged into the ocean. And at Ganga Sagar, you all know, she merges into the ocean, and that ocean, it rushed to Jagannath Puri. Because in Jagannath Puri, there is the ocean. There, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would obviously come 3 times a day to take bath. So she was in union with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again. So like that, Ganga Devi, she never stopped her service. Even though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left her and went, she went running and she merged into the ocean so that Mahaprabhu can come and he can take bath 3 times a day. So like this, in the Samudra, in the ocean, she was going and assisting him. So this is the way Ganga Devi increases the happiness of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bathing, okay, what else did he do after sannyas? He bathed Haridas Thakur's body in Ganga. Remember when in the Antya Leela, when we did Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, at the end when Haridas Thakur gave up his body, we see how Haridas Thakur's body was lovingly taken in the hands of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He personally went and bathed Haridas Thakur's body in Ganga. So like this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very intimately connected with Ganga Devi. Sometimes he would go and when he is manifesting ecstatic symptoms, he would go and drown in the ocean. And then there is this pastime of the fisherman catching him in the net and then getting worried what this is. And later, by chanting Harinam, he was again revived. So like there's so many wonderful pastimes. And once when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to go to Bengal, he says this particular verse. He says, I come in 2 forms in the age of Kali. One is as wood and the other is as water. As wood, I am Lord Jagannath, and as water, I am Mother Ganga, who has come here to deliver the fallen souls of their sins and give love for Krishna. This is another statement that was made by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was in Bengal. Okay. And he also mentioned that if I go to Bengal, I go only for 2 reasons. One is to see my mother Shachi, and the other is to see my mother Ganga. So for him, he always thought that there are 2 mothers. One is Shachi Devi, the other is Ganga Devi. And he would always glorify Ganga, saying that if anyone takes bath in Ganga, touches the Ganga, drinks the Ganga, or sees the Ganga, or anyone who's touched by the breeze of the same Ganga, that person will get Krishna Prem. So this is the verdict of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came to this world to specifically give Krishna Prem. So is that an exaggeration? No. We just have to be receptive to the mercy that Ganga Devi is giving. In Ayurveda, my Guru Maharaj says that Ayurvedic doctors know this. To the power that you have faith in the medicine, to that power, you will get cured. You're taking the medicine, but if you don't have any faith in the medicine, you will not get cured. Unless the person is taking the faith along with the medicine, that this medicine will cure me, only to that degree, that person will get cured. So to the degree we have faith in Ganga, respect Ganga, take her waters very respectfully, understanding that she is able to bestow love of God, to that degree she reciprocates with us. So Guru Maharaj says, to the degree we are humble, to the degree we are grateful, to the degree we are really, really deeply having the service attitude, to the degree we really have faith, to that degree, the breeze of Ganga can actually awaken love of God within our hearts. He says, if you eat Annakut, this Govardhan Puja, there's a big Annakut feast, and you have finished eating very nicely. You've eaten a big feast, or think about a big feast on a banana leaf. 13-course meal you have eaten, and you are so full, you cannot even take a sip of water anymore. And then you're resting on your left side because you've eaten so much and you're trying to digest the food, and someone comes in front of you with a nice, huge tennis ball size gulab jamun. Will you be able to eat it? You cannot eat it. Though you love gulab jamun so much, still you cannot eat it. Why? Because you are full. So you should have that hunger to digest. So you should have that hunger, that humility that gratitude and hunger for Krishna Prem should be there. And then when we access Ganga, when we go to Ganga, when we drink her waters, when we take bath in Ganga in that mood, when we associate with holy people in Ganga, to that degree, to that proportion, the effect will be seen. So this is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appreciation of Ganga. By bathing hundreds of times in Ganga, one can be purified of sins. But love of God can be awakened by seeing a pure Vaishnava just one time. Okay, that's why it is said Vaishnavas are holy places personified. This is actually a verse directly from Srimad Bhagavatam. Ganga is great. Yes, you should have the degree of faith that Ganga will purify. But just going, taking bath in a holy place itself is not enough. Okay, the idea given in Srimad Bhagavatam is, yes, you respectfully worship Ganga, you take her waters, you bathe in her waters, you get purified, have faith. To the degree you have faith, to that degree Krishna Prem is bestowed upon you. But don't forget one thing, also take association of devotees. Then the power is multiplied. That's why we have this very famous verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Yat pada samshraya sutta munaya prashamanaya satya punanti upasprishtha swardhunyapo anusevaya. Swardhuni. Who's Swardhuni? Anybody knows? Any guesses? What is Swardhuni?
Is it
Ganga
the
Devi.
celestial one?
Yeah, Ganga Devi. Ganga Devi herself. She's called as Swardhuni. That is another name for Ganga. Jhanavi, Bhagirathi, Swardhuni. She is very musical in her flow, so she's Swardhuni. This is Bhagavatam's verdict. Bhagavatam says, O Suta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the waters of the Ganga can sanctify them after prolonged use. See, you should have faith in Ganga and you should use them over a period of time. You should use Ganga over a period of time, get influenced by Ganga to get purified. But then if you take the association of one devotee, he is all the holy places personified. So the pure devotees of the Lord, they are much more powerful than even the Ganga water. They are also non-different from the Lord. Ganga is also non-different from the Lord. But it depends on our consciousness, how nicely we take Ganga. But these pure devotees, they are so much more powerful. They will come to you to purify you. That's why when we go to holy places, it's not that we just bathe in the waters without proper understanding. Without proper understanding, anybody can bathe in the Ganga. But if they have the right understanding, if they have the right gratitude, if they have the proper conception, they'll be able to reap the benefits. But then the best combination is when you can go to Ganga, take bath in the Ganga very reverentially, with a grateful attitude, at the same time take association of devotees, then that will be extremely powerful. So Prabhupada, he also talks about this with relation to Kumbh Mela. He says in Kumbh Mela, so many people, they come and they bathe in the Ganga, but they don't have proper understanding. They don't have proper gratitude. They don't know the purpose of life. So how much are they benefiting? They are not benefiting much. But the real purpose of going to a pilgrimage or a Kumbh Mela is to actually associate with the devotees of the Lord. Go there, take bath, take the association of Vaishnavas. That is when you totally reap all the blessings of the Lord. So we should go not just to take bath, like a ritual, rather you should go to take associations of Vaishnavas. Again, Bhagavatam, is a famous verse. Vasudeva Katha Prashna Purusham Strin Punantihi Vaktaram Prachakam Shrotram Tatpada Salilam Yata. The Ganges that is emanating from the lotus feet of Vishnu purifies the three worlds, the upper, middle, and lower planetary system. Similarly, when one seeks questions about the pastimes and characteristics of Lord Vasudeva Krishna, three varieties of men are purified: the speaker, preacher, he who inquires, and the people who listen. The speaker or the preacher, one who is inquiring, and the people who are listening. Yes, Just like how the Ganga can purify the three worlds, similarly, if one is chanting the holy names, if one is discussing Harikatha, then everybody is benefited just like the power of Ganga. So we take bath in the Ganga, we seek association of devotees. Seeking association of devotees means what? Not just saying hi, hello, embracing, finished. No. Taking their association means hearing Harikatha with them. So these three together, it becomes power packed. Taking a dip in the Ganga, taking association of devotees, and hearing Harikatha from them. So Prabhupada, he quotes Vyasadeva and he says, one should not go to a holy place just to bathe in a river. One should associate, seeking out saintly people, hearing Harikatha from them. Yes, Ganga is all merciful, but without the blessings of saintly people and learning from them, we can never access her blessings. And the most powerful current of grace in this age of Kali Yuga is to sit together and chant the holy names. Hale doshan ide rajan asti hi eko mahagunan kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param vrachet. So in this age of Kali, which is an ocean of faults, there is one benediction. If we are grateful to receive the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, that is the ultimate benediction. What is the ultimate instruction of Srila Prabhupada? Chant the holy names. So we chant the holy names, we hear Krishna Katha, we take dip in the water of the river Ganges and take association of such great Vaishnavas. So like this, by chanting holy names, it is equivalent to going to all the holy places, bathing in all the holy rivers millions and millions of times. So like this, we can tap into the mercy of Sriman Mahaprabhu, who has come here to propagate the glories of the holy name and be blessed by taking the mercy of Mother Ganga. Okay, we'll stop here. And if you have any questions, comments, realizations, corrections, thoughts, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
No, go ahead. I just want to know about the story, the pastime of that Janu Maharaj, how it's become named Janvi. I never heard before.
Okay, good
Mataji.
question. Yeah. I can tell the exact pastime because I don't want to, I generally mix up this with Agastya's pastime, so I want to tell the correct pastime. Janu Rishi. I think Agast, okay, yeah. So let's see. Okay. As per Bhagiratha's request, this Ganga Devi, she descended upon earth and she was held by Shiva's locks, right? And actually, when she was held by Shiva's locks and she was released by one of the locks, you read in Bhagavatam also, he releases her in 4 streams or something like that, and she goes. She was moving very, very fast, and she was kind of going like super fast, okay? Like her currents were very strong. So looking at this, the fields in the area where Jannu Maharishi was performing penance was getting destroyed. So he gets very angry with her, and in anger, to punish her, he drinks up all her water. But then once she is drunk by Jannu Maharishi, she pleads to him saying that, release me, I have to move on because I have to go and deliver the ancestors of Bhagiratha. That is the reason I've come to earth, because the sons of Sagara had all been destroyed by their offense to Kapila Dev, right? So
Yes.
she tells that I have to move on. Bhagiratha has brought me here for a purpose. If you drink me up being angry with me, then how can I do what I have to do? So she requests him, and then he releases her from the ear. So that is called as Jhanavi. That stream onwards, it's called Jhanavi.
Mataji, thank you, because I didn't know about the Janu Maharaj. It happened. I know about the Sagar Muni, King Sagar and Bhagirath Raja, but I didn't hear this pastime, Janu. Thank you, Mataji, so much. Such a beautiful class, Mataji. Very, very nice pastime you described, and you just glorified the Ganga Mata very nicely in deep detail.
Yeah, I'm just
Nice to
repeating
hear.
Mataji. This is
Nice
a
to hear
thing.
this one.
Yeah, but all
Very
glories to
nice.
Guru
Yeah.
Maharaj. I was verbatim
Yeah.
repeating. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So great.
Anita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, very wonderful class. So many pastimes, very nice to hear. I just have a doubt. Is it Sachi Mata's one more name is Janvi Mata?
Janava Devi is Janava Devi is
Nityanand
Nityananda
Prabhu.
Prabhu's second
Nityanand
wife.
Prabhu. So, yeah.
Okay,
Vasudha
okay.
Janava, Nityananda Prabhu's wife. Yeah.
Okay.
Is, she was a guru, right? Very powerful.
Okay, Mataji. Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful class. As usual, you don't need any preparation. We all know that. And thank you. All glories to His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and all glories to you, his disciples. Mataji, I actually sorry, I missed that point. You said Ganga Devi exists in three forms. One was the liquid form. And can you please repeat? I'm so sorry. I missed it.
I think this is Vallabhacharya's reference he gave. He said Vallabhacharya says that Ganga Devi exists in three forms. One is the liquid form as water with which we drink, we bathe, we do all our duties, like especially people staying in the vicinity of Ganga. The other is she herself is a holy place of pilgrimage who can bestow benedictions to people who pray for her. And the third is she is a personification of Bhakti Devi because she's an expansion of the Lord's energy. So for those devotees who want to get Bhakti, they can pray to her to get Bhakti. And that is the mode in which Gauranga Mahaprabhu's associates would go and pray to her, including Mahaprabhu. Okay.
So one is the liquid form, one is the pilgrimage, and third is the bhakti
aspect. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you. Very grateful to you. I'm seeing a lot of messages in the chat, Mataji. RP, I don't know. I'm on the phone. I'm getting only names. I think Neetu Mataji, Revati Mataji says, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for glorification of Mother Ganga. And Vinita Mataji is saying thank you. Amrita Radhika Mataji is saying thank you. Very beautiful class. Very grateful to you, Matajis. Are there any more realizations, devotees?
Priti.
Hi, Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam. Such a beautiful class. It's like glorification of Mother Ganga and so many aspects of, the realizations which you shared. So, Mataji, like Ganga Devi is the Lord himself, right? You said, if I'm not so just imagine, like this thought came to my mind, like when Lord Krishna and his sakhas are playing in Yamuna, it is like Mother Ganga and Yamuna together. Like, it's like that one thing which just clicked me. So such a beautiful fusion, right, of both of them together.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank
So
you,
sweet.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Beautiful explanation, Mataji. It's like we need more of this realization of Mother Ganga. And from you it coming, it is really, really, it's really wonderful. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Sita Priti Mataji. A very rasik realization. Thank you.
How Mataji? How did she say that? I didn't quite understand.
She was telling if Ganga is the Lord in a liquefied form, and when the cowherd boys and Krishna were playing in Yamuna, she's telling Ganga and Yamuna are present there together because Lord Himself, right, is present in Yamuna. Like that, she said.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you very much for this wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Vinay. Okay. Mancha.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च
सिन्धुभ्यश्च
पतितानां वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीला वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय, श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, हरे ग्रेस प्रीति विलासिनी माता
माता
जी
जी
की
की
जय।
जय।
कृष्ण माता जी
दंडवत
Mataji,
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare
माता जी
Krishna, dear
धन्यवाद
devotees.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you.
Ending the call, dear devotees.